Have you been thinking about starting up your own business or need some ideas on how to grow from where you're at? There is nothing I love more than talking to entrepreneurs about what it takes to scale their side hustle, current business, or crazy idea. And the crazier the idea, the better. Today's guest is Angie Garner, the best-selling author of Time Millionaire, leader of a seven-figure sales organization, and the host of the MLM Empire podcast. She is crazy ambitious yet humble and down to earth, and every post on her Facebook feels like a post from a friend just sharing great content with you. Seriously, it's the best. The highlights of this conversation include: when is it a good time to make an investment on your business? What is the number one problem new business owners experience? How network marketing allowed her to travel the world for 8 months with her family? What stops entrepreneurs from hitting 6 or 7 figures? And the new way of doing network marketing. As you hear something that resonates with you, gives you an aha moment, share what you discover. Take a screenshot of this podcast and tag me on your Insta story at Tanya B Style or write about it on your feed. Let's get to this conversation.
Hi.
Hi, Angie. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I feel like, and I'm not quite sure because I know we both have been in business for so long and we kind of are in the same similar circles. I feel like we might have met maybe 10 years ago somehow, because somehow you're on my Facebook. So we must have
You know,
met.
there's no telling what women's networking group we probably met at.
Right? And so I'm really excited to connect because even though we've not, maybe we met in person, maybe we didn't, but I love seeing your content because it pops up on my newsfeed. You've always got live videos going. You have really positive messages you're sending into the world. And I thought, why not connect with you and learn more about what you're doing?
Yes, I love it.
Can you share with us why you became a business coach? How did this happen?
Well, let's not give you the very long version. Let's give you a quick snapshot. I started my first business in college. Became a personal trainer. My sorority sisters, I went to the University of Washington and they just started asking me to work them out. So started my first business in college, took it kind of to another level when I graduated college. So I've never had a real job. I've always been a lifepreneur. But as I was getting that going and was having good success with that in terms of keeping my books really full, I read 2 books that changed my perspective tremendously. Those books were Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which taught me about how to get to the quadrant of being an investor. And the second book was The 4-Hour Workweek, which taught me the value of residual income. And so, and this is all leading to how I became a business coach. But essentially I realized being a personal trainer, I was just self-employed and there was no way to scale. And so that is what drew me to network marketing, which is my main income revenue driver. And that is what I coach on today. I have a decade experience in network marketing. I believe in it to the nth degree, and I just have seen it transform more families than any other business vehicle on the planet. So I've had so many people that just started asking in other companies like, hey, could I get one-on-one time? I want to pick your brain. And so a lot of times businesses, you start listening to what people are wanting and you adapt and you create an offer for them.
Yeah, I hear that a lot from entrepreneurs, and I'm in that same boat where since I was a little girl, I used to charge people to I would paint people's nails around the apartment where we used to live. And I started like the babysitters club and I used to teach people Spanish. And since I was a little girl, I always found a way of doing something. And I became an entrepreneur after, like literally right after college when I was 21. So I've also been on my own for 10 or 11 years, haven't worked for anybody else. And it's a different lifestyle. And I want to talk to you more about what challenges have come up. I know a million. I mean, when you've been in business so long, things are always happening and you're always finding a new way to evolve and work through it. But what are some big challenges that come to mind that you overcame, and what did you learn about yourself through them?
Well, pretty much every business owner, one thing they always need is leads. And so if you're not having leads come in, you have to go back to the drawing board. And so there have been many times over the decade where it just kind of felt plateaued. felt kind of dry. And I knew that I had to reinvent myself. And so what I usually do when those moments come up is I make some sort of investment. I either up level with a coach, I go to an event, I, read new books about something I've never thought about. I do something to get out of my frame of mind so that I can be more creative. Does that make sense?
I really love that you brought that up because in all the episodes I've done, no one has brought that up. But now that I think about it, that is something that is very common. What do you do at that point where you kind of feel like you did plateau? Because that happens a lot. And I recently did that right before I got pregnant. I didn't think I was going to be able to have children. So I'm like, oh, let me put my savings into doing a whole rebrand. Oh my gosh. 3 weeks later, I find out I'm pregnant. I'm like, I could have saved all that money. I did a new logo. We redid the website. We added people to the team. But at that time, I wouldn't change it because I did need it at that moment. I was kind of feeling blah with my business. I still love what I do, but I feel like I needed to do something a little more to change it up. Um,
Yeah, that's interesting. I've had probably 10 rebrands in 10 years. My personal brand, and that's something I really, really coach hard on with my private clients. It started for many years was in the health and fitness realm.